to downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Arizona Cardinals. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right?
Four
both
down.
teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Now a play fake here on first down. Right side, Gresham. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Watch tight. Tight end's right.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
The first carry now, this is Johnson. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They run for it. Here's Johnson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Blue 80.
Hey.
Right.
Four down.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. He completes it to Julio
You don't want no
Jones.
problems.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
56.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. The numbers for Freeman a week ago. Very, very strong. Well over 100 yards.
He should get the ball early and often here, too. I mean, when you ride the performance of last week into this game, his confidence level has to be off the charts. Go ahead and keep feeding him.
Caught on the right side by Jones. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Hey, Tuesday.
From the red zone now, here's Ryan on first down.
Get him.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Double tight. Blue 80. Black 25. Go.
Motion backfield.
On second down, Freeman. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
They'll run here to Freeman. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
2nd and goal, and the lone man in the backfield is Freeman.
Let's go!
From the shotgun, Ryan. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Ready? Alert! 21!
SOS.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
No movement from the field goal unit. They've got 4 full yards to go here on 4th and goal to hit pay dirt, but they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Hassan Reddick, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
And I can just see it now. On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow, some way. At least get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If we throw an interception, so what? A sack? We didn't even have a chance.
319!
On 1st down, it's Rosen. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
4 down.
All right, here we go. 319!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
39!
On 3rd down, Johnson. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 4 down.
Set! Green 39!
Now
Green 39!
contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
and it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still second down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5.
Even. 4 down. Even.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 30.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Green 39.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. Underneath for Johnson. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Green 30.
A 1st down carry for Johnson. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. The numbers for Johnson in last week's game: 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. So as they take it over, we step aside.
4 down.
The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Well, this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Double tight. Hey, 4 down.
Set. 3 19.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10.
Double tight.
All right, here we go. 3 19.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30.
Run.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Set. 3 19.
Rosen off to play action. Looking deep downfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
We got 4.
Get up.
Undercrush.
Let's go.
After the interception, here's Ryan.
Take it.
And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
21. 22.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Gun. Ready, blue 80. Black 25.
Hey, we got four. We got four down.
21.
Check it, hot read.
On 3rd down, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Hey, gun.
Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first.
Gun.
Watch two.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10, right at the 40.
Ready. White 25.
To throw again is Ryan. And the catch is made by Justin Hardy. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
Hey, Tuesday. Ready to go.
Ryan will throw again. And it's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he'll go down at the 28. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another 1st down.
Ready to go.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
20. Wait.
Want it. Keep playing hard, fellas.
Gun.
Dave. Woo! Let's get it.
Ready to go.
On 2nd down, Ryan. Still with a grab over the middle. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a 1st down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen, but everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
2 minutes remain in a scoreless 1st half. More from the desert after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our 1st half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Flag 25.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Ready. Blue 80.
Mike's 56.
Wait.
Here we go.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Express.
Check.
Here's Smith. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal.
Mike 56, Mike 56.
They'll run for it with Smith. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Ito Smith, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Falcons are in for 6. Showing some grits and some guts going for it. Their 4th and goal, pounding it in.
And being rewarded for that confidence in the team, huh? The coach saying, let's go ahead and get this. And how about the guys up front firing out, finding a little bit of a crack for them to get through? Touchdown. I love it.
That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now let's look at David Johnson. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Left. Tight end left. Hey, boys, we got 4. 4 down.
Hurry up, here we go.
2nd and 10, it's Rosen again. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Now Rosen on first down. That is incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
To throw is Rosen. Bryant has it. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. On 3rd down, Rosen. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Grady Jarrett able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Young quarterback, gotta learn. Need to get rid of the football.
Because when you don't get rid of the ball, they accumulate more sacks. But you're exactly right. Internal clock has to go off. Either get rid of it or start to take off and go.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
21.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful. And now they have to deal with 2nd and very long.
56. 39. Right there. 56.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Looking downfield for Jones. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Rush in. Oh, yeah!
The Falcons on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be third and a mile.
Ready, blue 80. Bunch set, eyes up. 39.
Final play of the half. It's Ryan. Looking deep for Julio. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more calls. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter.
Left. Lucky.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Hassan Reddick in there to get him again. The third time he sacked him here tonight. And when you go 5 wide like they just did there, you can't really max protect, can you?
No, you cannot. What you're hoping is that by going 5 wide, you're forcing the defense into coverage. And if you do that, you got a chance to find some people downfield. But if they audible themselves and go into a blitz, then it's got to happen right now,
or
very
lights
quickly,
out.
or exactly right. Turn them out. That play's over.
Here's Ryan. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
Now let's go. Green 39.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. About 3 yards there to the 27.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Tight ends on the Ringo.
Now let's go.
Off the play fake, here's Rosen. Going for it all. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. He is going to find Hill here. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone
here
opportunity here. Got a 1st and 10 from the 10. And now it's Rosen looking, and they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Vic Beasley in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further.
4 down.
Hurry up, here we go.
He'll get it up the middle, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green.
From the gun, it's Rosen. And incomplete on the deep ball. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week, he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
And Rosas puts this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Tight end right.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
There we go.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Ready.
Freeman again, a first down carry. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
And not quite sure what just happened there, other than we do know that he spiked the football on first down.
Tight right.
Ready. White 25.
4 down. Hey, switch gears.
Hey, white.
6. Mike's 56.
Gun.
I'm here all day.
Hey, white. 21.
Deuce.
Here we go.
To throw on second down, Ryan. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball, You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at their own 44.
Blue 90.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Try to atone for it here on this drive. They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. Try to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
And Jones has it over the middle. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. Ryan now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Hey, wait. Blue 80.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Ready. Blue 80.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 46.
25.
Even.
Check 13. Check 13.
21.
6 guy. Check 6 guy.
Hey, red blitz, red blitz, red blitz.
Bang, bang.
Let's go.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan.
Twist. Watch the twist.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's
Nickel,
intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet and make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
He's got it to Williams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Blue 90. Blue 90.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. That's caught by Geronimo Allison. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Here we go.
All right, here we go.
On first down, it's Rosen. Time for a break.
Okay,
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure, and if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
They'll look to throw. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down.
Tight ends on the Lucy. Tight ends on the Lucy.
Set. 3-19.
Back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I have both been in practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Falcons.
That's my boy.
Julio Jones, his second touchdown on the season, and the Falcons will extend their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a two-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in how...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Good job.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Watch tight end.
4 down, 4 down.
Ready. White 25. Hey, rip Lance, rip Lance, rip Lance. Everybody set.
Ryan wants to throw it. His throw caught at about the 5. And they are able to stop it, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Hey, let's go.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal.
Tight to the right. Move.
Ready. Blue 80.
5 down. Stand up.
Right.
Shift.
Throwing now is Ryan. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Austin Hooper, his second touchdown on the season. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
That's it, baby. That's it. That's 6, baby. We got it all day up in here. We got it all day.
Now Ryan leading the Falcons up to go for 2.
Hey, alert.
Gun. Everybody set.
Ryan. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off inside the 10. Oh, and now he bowls him over. He's at the 40. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Defense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
All day, baby. All day.
The Falcons are going to leave the offense out there. They'll go for 2.
Tight end right.
Blue 80. Ready, blue 80. 20.
Shift. Watch the shift. Hey.
We'll try and run with Freeman. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass. So you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now Rosen. And he's able to get up here to the 26. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Cardinals on 3rd down, converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Rosen looking to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, we got 21. 4 down. 25 tonight.
Oh, look at this. Ryan's going to throw it. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Space.
Now it's Ryan. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Right. Mike 56.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And it's caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
Ready. Back 25. Right.
Now it's Ryan. That's caught at the 3. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll look to run with Freeman. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Atlanta, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll return home next week.